Marzocchi's heritage lives on from the early FREERIDE days with their simple, affordable, and burly suspension.
The Bomber Z1 was re-released in 2018 and has quickly made its way back into the spotlight for being, well, simple, affordable, and burly.
But today, Marzocchi returns even deeper into the roots with the brand new Bomber Z1 Coil, baby. Coil. What did Jason do? Just thumbs up.
I just thumbs up and smiled.
Marzocchi has been making suspension forks since 1989, and their popularity peaked in the 2000s with their, no pun intended, Bomber suspension. Their suspension was simple, heavy duty, and affordable, which created a bit of a cult following of die-hard riders who didn't desire tons of adjustments and over-complexities.
Open back dampers and coil springs dominated their lineup, and a lot of people on the internet nowadays have voiced their opinion on how they should bring those old school coil springs back. But don't worry, with the new Z1 coil, the wait is over.
Fox actually purchased Marzocchi a few years ago, and so now you get the high quality manufacturing and customer support of Fox, but with that burly FREERIDE attitude of Marzocchi. From the outside, the Z1 coil looks exactly like the Z1 Air. Both forks use the same semi-sealed and ultra plush grip damper, known for being simple and reliable. Plus, the lowers, crown, and 36mm stanchions are the same.
But take a peek at the top of the spring side, and instead of an air valve, you'll see a preload adjustment which helps you set up your sag. Inside, you'll find the brand new and super simple coil assembly. A lightweight silicone chromium spring is used, surrounded by a nifty noise isolator so the spring stays quiet.
The fork's air assist design helps control the fork's progression and creates a little bottom out resistance so the fork is slightly progressive. Travel is adjustable internally without any additional parts by just reorienting the travel spacers, and 29-inch forks can be set to 150, 160, or 170 millimeters, and 27.5-inch forks can adjust to 160, 170, or 180 millimeters.
Adding a coil spring means that this fork running a medium spring weighs about 280 grams more than the air version. But if you're thinking about running a coil spring up front, chances are you're not counting grams. Speaking of springs, there are 4 options. You've got your soft, medium, firm, and extra firm. But don't worry, we've got a chart on our website that shows you which one you should be running for your rider weight.
That grip damper is super simple to set up with just low speed rebound and low speed compression, and will match perfectly with the Marzocchi Bomber CR rear shock for an easy to set up, affordable, burly, and reliable coil shock setup front and rear.
So I've actually been running a Z1 coil for a few months now on my custom steel hardtail, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Usually I'm more of an air shock guy or air fork guy, and I've had an air bomber on my hardtail and I've loved it. It's been great with the hardtail, super simple, set it and forget it. All of that's the same with the coil, but I've actually been pretty impressed with how this coil's performed. I run a stiffer spring for my body weight. It's definitely a little less sag, but it rides lower in the travel than my air fork just because of the nature of a coil. And I gotta say, I'm kind of a fan. The small bump compliance is unmatched, and I'm pretty impressed that the fork actually doesn't have that harsh of a bottom out. For me, the slight bottom out in the coil isn't actually enough of a negative to overshadow the huge advantage of small bump compliance on this fork. Yes, it does add a little bit of weight, but that's just me personally. I really don't like riding my bike on any trails that are cross country or have small climbs in them. Usually I'm just climbing a fire road to the top and then riding the trail down as fast as possible. But if that's you, this is a fork that was designed with those very same principles in mind. The whole point of this fork is to go downhill and have that set it and forget it attitude. No crazy dials, the fork just works. Never need to check your air pressure either.
As we stated before, Fox does own Marzocchi, and the Bomber Z1 shares a lot of characteristics that the Fox 36 has. Both forks have 36mm stanchions, but there is a big difference in the stiffness and just overall burliness. I think people have to drink every time I say the word burly. 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 Both forks, of course, have 36mm stanchions, although the Bomber is going to be stiffer because the stanchion walls are thicker and there's more material in the lowers and the crown itself. So basically, the Bomber Z1 is just a really burly big brother of the Fox 36. Combine that stiffness with a coil spring and you've got yourself a super easy to set up, affordable, and really reliable fork, and it's going to make a lot of people going downhill very happy.
What am I saying?
Oh.
If you already have a Z1 air fork, don't worry, you can actually upgrade to the coil for $130 plus $45 spring. It is worth noting that if you do upgrade to a coil, it will not be reversible back to an air unless you get a new upper assembly. But if you want to just get a whole new fork, you can adopt one of these guys for $749. Just make sure you give it a good home. What do you guys think about Marzocchi forks going back to coil? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear.
So if you'd like to welcome a Z1 coil into your family, click this link right here, go over to the Z1 Coil product page on our website and order one of these bad boys up with free shipping in the USA. And as always, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button. And if you really like us, subscribe to the channel and click that little bell notification so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And until next time, happy trails. #GoCoil.